What is up? What is up? What is up? So we got I think this is our 15th episode. Hobby with Cage episode 15. Came on here today. I'm like, let me tell these guys, I'm having a hard time doing the hobby news week segment this week. Normally by Monday, as you're listening to this, I've got enough hobby news to, make three hobby news week segments. That would be 180 seconds. And I got to whittle it down. I got to, this has got to get in there. This isn't in there. People have sent me a lot of stuff, but I'm not quite sure that I want to include every single breaker's gold out of 10 kaboom that gets hit, or, this optic hit that got hit. It's not exactly the point of it. I also don't need to just, continue to hammer and make fun of the same people in there. But it got me thinking, it hasn't exactly been a slow week in the hobby. It's been a slow news week. Now, what does that mean? Because if you look at the content creators out there, man, there are some crazy headlines. I got a Luca Nation OG group that I kind of chat in, and somebody dropped a video on there. PWCC sold with a question mark. And the video was all questions, just lots of questions. And I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking questions. It doesn't say that PWCC was sold. Doesn't say who they were sold to or give any kind of information about that title at all, other than my sources are telling me. I have a source on the inside saying, that things may be happening. And I realized why I was having such a hard time with the hobby news segment. It's because most hobby news is just hobby rumors. And it got me thinking, and I put this in the chat. I said, I should make a video. And the video was, dinosaurs in New York? Question mark. Dinosaurs in Manhattan, in New York City? Question mark. People are going to click on it and be like, wow, there's dinosaurs there. Listen, I'm just asking questions. There are some sources that said that, they noticed that some telephone poles, telephone wires, on the streets, they were knocked down. I mean, what else is big enough to knock that down? Couldn't be an elephant walking through the streets of Manhattan. Couldn't be a really big dog. I mean, there's only one thing that's big enough to walk down the streets of New York and pull down a telephone wire, and it's got to be a dinosaur. There you go. That's what my sources are telling. I'm just asking questions. My sources are telling me that there must be dinosaurs in Manhattan. Done. It's kind of the same thing. And obviously, I'm making a ridiculous, comparison, but on purpose, right? Well, sure, the hobby news, I'd love to put out there, some news about PWCC. And I got a million people DMing me, will your news this week include PWCC? Well, my response is, well, what's the news? What news do you have? I mean, sure, I've heard tons of rumors about them. I've heard tons of rumors. Every hour, I hear a different rumor and a different name linked to those rumors. Until there's a Woj bomb or some confirmation, it is just rumors, not news. Yet, man, we are post happy, aren't we? We are making videos about it. We are going, did you hear this? Did you hear that? Hey, looks like a couple of other people left and they're here now, and it's gotta be some big news. Gonna have big news by this time. Another day has gone by and rumors have not turned into news. Rumors just stay rumors. Do I think something is going to happen there? Sure. Am I going to report it in this week's news? Not until it's news. And pivot from that for a second to the other hobby news. I mean, I don't know about you, but I heard that not a single player is going to be signing for Panini ever again in the history of the company. I heard it. I mean, it's just my sources are telling me that no Panini product is going to actually have autographs in it. As a matter of fact, what I heard was that Leaf was going to hospitals and signing deals with every baby born in the United States. just in case they turn into an athlete. This was a source. I mean, I'm asking questions. Could it be possible that Leaf was signing autographs? This is rhetorical hyperbole here, folks. Clearly not a fact. Leaf is not going to hospitals and signing contracts with babies. But again, same exact thing. Why is it that every single page out there is posting that there's not going to be autographs from any of the top quarterbacks? Have I mentioned it? Sure. I said, hey, it wouldn't surprise me. I mentioned this 2 weeks ago if this was something that happened, right? It's definitely something to inquire about. It's definitely something. But now every page is posting like it's fact. It's news. Uh-oh, look. The top QBs are not signing. Have you guys seen actual news on that? Or did we just read into it a little bit? People were at an event. Maybe this is what's happening. Maybe it looks like this. Anyway, so that's 6 minutes of fun there where I'm going to title the episode, Rumor Has It. That's it. You got it now. Rumor has it. The hobby's full of rumors. That's all they are until they're not. I only named 2 here. The quarterback signing and the PWCC being sold, but there's like 50 of these every single day. Not news. Be better, folks. I'm going to try to be better. I'm not putting either of those in my hobby news, despite all of the requests to put them in the hobby news, because I don't consider it news until it's news. I'm sure people will disagree with this. This is just what's on my mind today. And I have the microphone, so you will listen to every word I have to say. Anybody? Tell me what movie that's from in the comments. That would be nice. Yeah, man. I mean, I have nothing to do but talk about my take on the hobby, and this is my take. Another fun one. Last week, I came in here and I talked about how I didn't think it was the greatest thing in the world for breakers to be yelling and screaming from the rooftops about how every product that's out is the best product to ever come out. That's reserved for Coke Zero, by the way. That's the best product to ever come out. You can't say this week that Panini Honors is the greatest product to ever come out, and then next week talk about Clearly Donruss, and then the next week talk about Chronicles and how they're all the greatest. We get it. You're trying to break. You are trying to sell product. You're trying to move product. We get it. I understand. It doesn't work. So we talked about that. I got a new one. Let's talk about Flawless. Let's talk about Flawless basketball for a second. 21 product with Cade Cunningham as a rookie in it, even though we are already talking about Victor Wembanyama as the number 1 draft pick 2 draft classes later. Think about that for a second. Product dropped this week where the rookies are Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, those guys. Not the rookie class for the season that just ended. Not Paolo Banchero and Benedict Mathurin, who are also no longer rookies. The season is over. We're up to the finals here. This is a product from basically 2 seasons ago. And we're all chasing it. Okay. This is what I'm going to ask you guys to do. All right? It's homework. I know you guys hate that. It's homework. This is old style. When I was a kid and you had a product come out, the label, the wrapper, or the box would tell you the odds, pack odds. It would tell you, okay, this insert is inserted 1 in every 36 packs. You can kind of figure out how many of them there were or how many things were printed, right? Because this insert set had 50 of them and these are 1 in this many packs. It's a whole to do, right? But that was how you found out how rare something was, right? You got to look at the pack odds. Well, I looked on Cardboard Connection, another good page. As I use Auction Report, I use Cardboard Connection, not paid by anyone, not paid by any of them, but good resources of the hobby. And they put checklists out. And they put the Flawless checklist out. I'm not including first off the line here, just the regular standard Flawless. Now these boxes, these suitcases are, what are they, $10,000 a box, some craziness. Maybe more. I think I looked before I recorded this episode. The cheapest one I saw on eBay was like $13,000 for a box. It's not as much as they were when we were chasing the triple logo man with Drake, but still not exactly cheap. I mean, maybe they're 6, 7, 8, 9,000, whatever they are. If I had a guest here, I would ask, how many one of ones do you think are in this product? Now, this is a limited product with a limited print run. And there are, I believe, a few thousand cases of this. I think, if memory served, there was, I don't know, 2,500, 3,000, just thousands of cases, not, no, 4 figures worth of cases. We'll say that. Okay. How many one of ones are there total? Now I want you to think for a second. Because if you're actually thinking about this, how many one of ones? Because the checklist I counted showed over 1,100 one of ones in the product. Yep. Over 1,100 one of ones. There have already been, in the first couple days of the release, I've already seen 3 Steph Curry one of ones already pulled, already opened and pulled in products. And there are more. There's more than those 3 Steph Curry one of ones. There's plenty more. And they're logo man and all kinds of stuff. It's going to be tough for people breaking this stuff to have anything that has any kind of long-term value. It's basically playing a slot machine. And even then, what I tell you to be careful about, and this is the, kind of like the hammer on top of last week's breaker fun. I don't know when it became a thing to post a card and then say, this card is a valued card. Because I saw the same breaker in Beijing, in the same break. I'm not sure if it was the same case or if it was multiple cases, pulled both the Ja Morant and the Luka Diamond Logo Man cards. The one of one Logo Man cards for both Ja and Luka, both pulled. And they were reposted, pictures of it and a little video of the break was reposted multiple times in different outlets. The first one I saw said, these 2 cards are $50,000 each. Are they? I don't know. I mean, each of them have multiple logo men already out across multiple years and products. I know flawless logo man's a big deal. Luka's got quite a few of them. Ja might be playing in Beijing next year. Who knows? Might be interesting that's where his car got pulled. $50,000 each one. Then I'm scrolling through Instagram and I see another post of the Ja. This is a $70,000 card. $70,000 Ja one of one just got pulled this week from this breaker. I saw the Luka $80,000 card just got pulled. I saw another one posting the 2 of them. 2 logo men worth $100,000 each are pulled. What is it? 50? 70? 80? 100? Is it any of them? Who the hell knows? Why are we doing that? Why is that the thing to do? Why are we becoming carnival barkers? Right? Why is it rip the product and look at this $100,000 card? Because you know what happens? People think that's true. People think it's accurate. And they start basing decisions on it. And then when a card like that actually sells, and it sells for 30, and you had people saying it's 100, one, the person who says 100, how are you going to maintain credibility? Or I guess maybe you don't care. And 2, how does that sustain this whole thing when it's just a open the $10,000 box, hope you hit a card, someone tells you the card's worth $80,000 so that you probably open more, and then when you go to try to sell that card, it's worth $30,000. How does it maintain its value when next year they're just going to do the same exact thing? Same exact non-rookie logo man. Maybe it's not as shiny because it's not 75th year. Just an interesting thing, right? Here is this product that is, top of the line, the most expensive thing. I mean, I guess Eminence and more money, but the chase. Everybody wants to chase it. You can't really break it. It's so much money, and I guess we have to say that it's worth what it's worth. But 1,100 one of ones. I mean, does it get to a point where the exception becomes the rule? and this manufactured scarcity is just not scarce, if all these players have a half dozen one of ones in a single product, then is there really anything that's rare? Will any of these things be able to maintain value? Anyway, that's three little fun topics. I guess two. The rumor one split up in between the PWCC and the quarterbacks with Fanatics. And none of it is me being happy or positive today. So I can't just do that. I can just do a whole episode of that, can I? That's no good. I need more soda. Whew. I will say this. I'll drop a little nugget here because I guess you'll see it soon. I am going to be on Dr. Beckett's podcast, which is pretty cool. You know, he asked me to be on there. That was nice. That was that made the the 10-year-old in me that used to collect cards and look at the Beckett magazine every month. That made me smile a little bit. And then also, though, I'm sitting here saying, well, what am I putting in the news? What goes in the news? And I'll tell you something that's definitely going to get in the news, guys. It'll be in there. And there should be a happy positive. I mean, Bowman Inception came out. And we all saw this fantastic looking Victor Wembanyama auto, right? It was colorful. It had his signature on it. And immediately followed up, they showed the Bowman one, the second product that he's in. And he signed it. I mean, you got a picture of it. This is the first card I signed. So clearly he's signing, right? I mean, he's out there doing his thing. You got a picture of him signing a card. So Bowman Inception comes out, Bowman U. And I opened a box. I opened a box with my son. We got crap. We didn't get a Victor Wembanyama. That would have been nice, I guess. But you know who else didn't pull a Victor Wembanyama autograph? No one pulled one. No one. Not a single person pulled a Victor Wembanyama autograph. And when they open the entire case run, no one will pull one. Why? Because despite the fact that we were shown pictures of his autograph and then pictures of him holding up a sign for the next product saying this is the first card I signed, his autograph's a redemption. It's not even live in the product. Redemption. And go take a look at what those redemptions are selling for. I don't know that they stay that high. Here, I was trying to be positive in my fourth topic, and it comes out negative again. Be careful. Be careful when this happens. I mean, it happens all the time, guys. You know, we can point back to the Mac Jones PSA 10 Donruss rookie when they first came out. I mean, how much was those things selling for when it was the only one and it was the first one graded and all that other fun stuff? It's the same thing here with Victor's cards, right? I know you want it. I know you want to own one, right? But this is the first product, the first release. It's not the best product. It's not the best release. There's going to be other ones. The supply is going to increase. The demand is at a fever pitch now that the lottery came down and it's San Antonio. People know where he's going to go and all the other fun stuff that comes with it. You know he's going to be the first pick. So, there's a crazy demand for him. Not a lot of his cards out there yet. That's going to change. So just have a little patience is what I would preach on it. There's my 2 cents on that Victor Wembanyama thing. I'm not going to tell you he's going to be a flop. I'm not going to tell you how he's getting bodied by Kenny Lofton, not the baseball player from the Indians. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm just going to tell you be careful with the prices that I see being paid for the redemptions. And that will make its way into the news 100%. I saw an email go out from Collectible, saying that they're going to be continuing to look for auctions to, move some of their items off of the platform and, get liquidity for the shareholders, but that some items are going to stay on that platform. So that's an interesting one also. And, I'll be following that story and trying to keep you guys posted, give you leads on that one as they come out. But yeah, I mean, I came on here today. We could talk 2 minutes on basketball. I got to tell you, what Jimmy Butler's doing is amazing. I see some of his cards selling, but they're not selling for that much. He doesn't really have that many, and I know he's been on a bunch of teams. If anybody wants to make jokes about how the NBA script was released and leaked, and it was gonna, be the Celtics and the Lakers, boy, that would be one hell of a monumental comeback. Because as I'm recording this, they're both down 3-0, and it doesn't look like that the Lakers Celtics is gonna happen. And if you're the NBA, I'm not exactly sure you want a Denver Miami final. I don't know the ratings that final is going to do. I'm sure not as good as the ratings would have been for a Lakers Celtics series. Um, but there are still some compelling stories in there for anybody who was a real Joker fan and held on to his cards, even though he didn't win the MVP for the third time in a row. A lot of people were buying, expecting a third MVP, and many people think he deserved that third MVP over Embiid. Um, think about the reward you'd get there if he manages to, follow up two MVP seasons with second place basically in the MVP this year, but win a championship. Now you got somebody who's a multiple MVP with a ring. The people who held his cards will probably be rewarded there, although, you know, remains to be seen. Sometimes people win championships and their cards don't go up. And on the other side, Jimmy Butler, man, uh, heck of a story. Just what they're doing with that team, right? And a lot of undrafted free agents, a lot of other teams throwaways. I'm a Hornets guy from when Devontae Graham was playing there a couple years ago, buying Devontae's cards in 2018 Prism, and the following year, watching Caleb Martin and Cody Martin. He's actually a twin, and the Hornets announcers used to say when they were both on the floor, they're fully Martinized, was what they used to say when they both of them on. That's a perfect example of what the Heat, the system that they run, the interchangeable pieces. Like to see Jimmy Butler get one. Like to see, Jokic, the Joker, get one as well. It'd be an interesting matchup because of the zone that Miami runs. We've seen a little uptick in all their cards already, so not sure that there's really much in the way of of an upshot for cards or collectors there, other than people who manage to not sell a little bit of a dip for Joker not winning the MVP. If he wins the championship, they might be rewarded for hanging on to that stuff. And that's an episode, guys. I'm excited to watch that. Baseball's heating up, man. Judge, a little after a little injury, he's back. Pete Alonso was on a hell of a tear. Baseball's going to be fun. Pretty soon, that's all we're going to have. So enjoy the basketball playoffs while you still can. Nobody collects F1 cards anymore, so no one cares that the Grand Prix is in Monaco with all the boats and all the other fun stuff there. Nobody was really collecting F1 to begin with, I guess. I'm just kidding. I know there's a couple of you out there. I don't want to upset you. There you go, guys. Another episode. Stay clear of those rumors. Eventually, they will become news, and then go ahead and report on it. At least that's the way I do it. Take care. We'll talk to you guys in a couple of days.